Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory video. Alright, at the time of me recording this video, there's Nier collaboration going on, Nikke x Nier, and also we are 2 months away from our first anniversary in Nikke Goddess of Victory. So I figured a starter's guide or a beginner's guide for some of you guys out there who are, looking into this game, perhaps interested to try the game out. This can be useful or helpful to some of you guys out there. So I try my best to hopefully condense as much information as I can, but it's not going to be as detailed compared to some videos I've made in the past. So I'll try to also provide some links to the other videos. Hopefully you guys will be able to reference those as well. So first things first, we're going to try to break this down into several points. Now the first thing that you want to do when you play Nikke is to reroll. So this is probably going to be your first starting point into the game. If you don't care about rerolling, skip ahead, but I'm going to teach you a little bit on rerolling. Now, rerolling in Nikke is going to be pretty easy, alright? So PC client of Nikke is where you want to do your reroll. So I've made a video in the past on a more detailed reroll guide. We're going to look at it shortly, but if you see right here, this is the PC client launcher. So you have this thing, and these 3 dots right here will allow you to log out. So you are able to basically make a new account every time. So you can reroll using one email and one email only. So as you can see right here, I've shown in this particular video using the salted method. So if you're not familiar with what the salted method is, for example, your email is xxx@gmail.com. Send a verification code to your email. Alright, just click send, and then it will usually appear in your spam messages. Make sure you guys check the spam. Alright, that's how it appears for mine, at least for Gmail. So if you're trying to make a second account, all you need to do is just add a +1. If you don't get what you want in the +1 one, log out again and then make a +2, make a +3, so on and so forth. Alright, so with that being said, let's talk more detail about which character you want to reroll for. Now this is where it gets super complicated, but I'm going to condense the information for you. The 3 characters, main priority for you as a new player that you want to go for is going to be number 1, Lita, which is a burst 1 character, this character right here. So she's going to be one of the main 3 characters that I will highly recommend you to get. Scarlet is also one of the priority, top 3 characters right now in the game for sure, and Modernia. So if you can get the combination of Lita plus Scarlet, Lita plus Modernia is going to be way better. But if not, just one of these, if you can get all 3 in your reroll, that would be awesome, but that would be too far stretch of a goal. So these 3 characters, these 3 Nikkes are going to be your top priority. Now let's talk a little bit about Dorothy. So this is something that I think people might be a little bit confused, because Dorothy is someone that a lot of players recommend as well. She's a very strong character. However, I don't recommend her for new accounts at all. I will get to that later, but it's something to do with dupes in the game because of how easier it is to obtain Lita's dupes compared to Dorothy. And as a new player, your priority lies there. I think she's much more beneficial to your account as a veteran player, but as a new player, Lita is definitely going to give you an edge right there. So with that being said, let's talk about Nikke's systems overall. If you guys are still new to how Nikke systems work. So if you look at my characters right here, you will notice one pattern. Alright, every character has the same level. Alright, right now I'm currently level 259. You can see my Scarlet, Modernia, Alice, Drake, Santi, Helm, Nor, Noise. All of them are level 259. So if I scroll down, you can see if I scroll down, I scroll down, I scroll down, you can see level 259, level 259, level 259, and then there's a level 1. So they are either level 259 or they are either level 1. There's no in between. Alright, so Nikke has a very unique system. You only need to level up 5 characters. So again, this is something that a lot of players make mistakes of. Don't try to power up or waste resources leveling up more than 5 characters. Only focus on 5 characters and 5 characters only. The rest of the character will follow because of the synchro slot system. Alright, so this is the video that I made a while back talking about this particular thing called the 160 gate. So notice there's this thing right here where you put 5 characters in the top slot, and then there's this bottom slot where every character that you put here will follow the lowest number of the top 5 that you put. So in this case, you can see I have this character Novel at 142, and then I have 3 characters at 141, and then my lowest level is Bellota right here at 140. Therefore, she is the lowest level. So this means that my synchro slot level is matching the lowest level out of these 5 characters. Everyone that you put below in this slot is going to be that level, 140. Now, there's this thing called the 160 gate in Nikke, Goddess of Victory. That is going to be your goal, to try to bypass that as soon as you can as a new player, or else you're gonna get stuck for a long time. Now, what is 160 gate, you may ask, and how do you bypass it? So 160 gate meaning that if your character is not MLB, alright, short form for max limit break, alright, so that means they will not be able to bypass or get past the 160 level. Now, what is an MLB or max limit break, you ask? Basically 3 stars of a character. So if you notice this particular character, any SSR in the game, let me bring up my Emma right here. You can see, let me turn off my face cam. So notice I got 2 star right here. The goal here is to try to get MLB, meaning 3 star. That means you will need to obtain 3 dupes for that said character. So in this case, I obtain 1 Emma by default. So I need to obtain 3 more Emma to get Limit Break 1, Limit Break 2, and Limit Break 3. You're gonna need 4 copies of that same character, right? Once you do that, then you can level past 160. Sadly, this only applies to SSR, because if you notice SR right here, they can never go past 3 stars. They can only go to 2 stars. Now, this is going to be something that is going to be your starter goal. Whenever you start the game, you start playing the game, this should be your goal from day 1, to get past the 160 gate. If you don't plan ahead, you're gonna get stuck in the 160 gate for a very long time. Believe me or not, I know someone who actually plays the game since day 1, and they are still stuck at the 160 gate. So if you're stuck at 160 gate, that means your characters cannot level past 160. And if your characters cannot level past 160, a lot of the story stages are going to feel difficult for you. And you cannot progress in the story at all. And a lot of content is going to feel somewhat gated to you because you lack the stats. Alright, so that means your objective early on is to get 5 characters max limit break. Now, this is not going to be easy. This is going to be quite difficult. You will need a number of characters to be able to do this. Alright, so remember, you want them to have 3 stars, 4 copies of them, right? So 1 main copy plus 3 more additional copies. Now, there's a trick, however, to hopefully bypass the 160 gate fast. Alright, and hopefully this video, we're gonna talk about those tips and those tricks. Now, first up, the wishlist system. So this game has basically 3 banners happening usually at the same time. So one is going to be the pickup banner. So the pickup banner is going to use a very special advanced recruit voucher, a very unique ticket. And this advanced recruit voucher is going to give you the gold mileage ticket every time you use them. Alright, every time you use any of this advanced recruit voucher, you're going to get the points towards the gold mileage ticket. Now, 200 gold mileage ticket means you can PT a character, you can buy that said character in the mileage shop. Now, there's one more banner, which is the standard banner or the wishlist banner. This is where your main source of dupes is going to come from as a new player. This one is going to use the recruit voucher, the standard ones. This one doesn't really count towards this particular gold mileage ticket, sadly. However, it does count towards the silver mileage ticket, which we're going to talk about shortly. You can see this one has a very unique wishlist system. Now, in terms of wishlisting your characters right here, this is going to be very important, and I want you guys to pay very close attention to a couple of things. You want to ideally use this wishlist to your advantage to obtain dupes of the characters you have, SSRs that you have. Alright, so let's say you reroll, you got Liter and you got Sugar at the same time. So make sure to include both Liter and Sugar right here, with hopes of getting their dupes. Every time you pull, that means one of these characters, one of these 15 characters from either Elysian, Misilis, Tetra, you get to choose 5 of each faction, will appear in your pools. So that's the entire objective, that's the entire purpose. This is where you want to be smart and take advantage of the wishlist system to obtain as many spare body or dupes for your characters. Hopefully MLB 5 characters as soon as you can. Now, pro tip, I do highly recommend Privity to be one of your character that's listed right here. The reason why is because everybody gets a free Privity in your account. And for me, that's what I took advantage of to basically get past the gate faster. Now, as you can see right here, this is going to be your day by day. It used to be all the new players get Diesel and Privity, but however, I've heard that they have removed Diesel ever since. You don't really get Diesel for free anymore, and you only get Privity now at day 7. So I do recommend aiming for Privity as one of your MLB characters. Now, this is like a baseline reference for a beginner's wishlist that I do recommend. Obviously, I don't know how your account looks like, so you might consider taking out some of these to replace characters that you have to make sure to obtain dupes of them. Alright, so if you guys happen to watch me on Twitch while I'm streaming, if you happen to see me on Discord, feel free to ask me right there. I'll try to help you out straight away. This is always going to be something that's like much more targeted towards your account, but as a beginner's reference, like I mentioned, Privity, Diesel, very solid unit, Miranda right here, Emma and Polly. So these are going to be a very solid choice for Elysian. Now for Missy List, Lita, Drake, Santi, very strong burst 2 alongside with Pepper and Maxwell. So that's going to be for the Missy List. Now as for Tetra, I recommend Sugar, Blanc Noir, Rupee and Volume. Now, there are some meta characters that I don't recommend as much, and you might be wondering why. For example, right here, Laplace is really strong, but why do I not recommend putting her in the wishlist? Same goes for the Tetra line. Alice is really strong, Dola is also really strong, but why do I not recommend her or them on the wishlist as a baseline? And that's a very good question. So you want to use the wishlist in conjunction to the spare body shop or the mileage shop. Now, the mileage shop is this particular shop that you can access. It's called the mileage shop. Alright, that's the name of the shop. As you can see, there is 2 things that you can obtain right here. So one is the character itself. So right now we have near collaboration going on where I can straight up buy the A2 character and the 2B character. And notice the icon is a little bit different, right? For the character versus the spare body. Now the character is going to use this particular thing called the gold mileage ticket. These things are very valuable. Do not waste them if you are a new player. Make sure you think carefully. Only get the meta characters if you can. And then for the silver mileage ticket, this is what you're going to be using to buy the dupes or the spare body in this case. Now keep in mind that the spare body does not equals to character. That means if I buy this Noah spare body, but if I don't have a Noah, this thing is useless. Alright, you are not going to be able to do anything with it. Which is why you want to use the wishlist plus the spare body here in conjunction to help you to get past the 160 gate fast by getting 5 max limit break characters. Alright, that's going to be your goal as a beginner. Now, sadly, not every character's spare body appears right here. I wish that was the case so that our life is easier, your life is easier, my life is easier. But that's not the case. Alright, things are a little bit more complicated. There are some characters that I mentioned, like earlier, Laplace is not included, the spare body is not here, so does Alice. Alice, the spare body is not here. Dola, spare body is not here. Novel, spare body is not here. There are quite a lot of characters that their spare body is not here. Out of all the characters that I recommended in the wishlist, all of them should have their spare bodies here, except for Blanc and Nor. I do think that those two are super worth it. You want to get them as soon as you can because Blanc and Nor is like the meta character, and you need 2 of them to unlock their full potential, which is why they are like a little bit of an exception. But other than that, everyone else that I mentioned, they do rotate right here in this shop. Now the spare body, they rotate every single day. So right now you can see today's one, for me, I have Mary, Eksha, Yan, Noah, etc. So yours might be different than mine, and then once the game resets, it will basically rotate to a different rotation altogether. So that's pretty much how you want to get past the 160 gate fast. You want to use the wishlist plus the spare body mileage shop to hopefully get copies of your characters to get them max limit break 5 characters so that you are able to get past the 160 gate. So to level up your character past 160, you will need them to be limit break 3. Now one more thing, as a new player, there's this thing right here as well, the body label shop. Alright, so what do you buy from the body label shop? As a new player, your priority is just to get this one, the high quality mole. You should not get anything else, just keep buying this one and hopefully you get lucky. You get lucky with the SSR that you want. Now keep in mind, there's a chance to give you an SSR, right? However, it's not 100%. So you can see right now, it is going to be 61%. And this is going to be a little bit harder because it's so random. The pool is so big right here in terms of the characters that you can obtain. Sadly, it does not include Pilgrim units, and Pilgrim units are, technically the hardest one to obtain, right? And see, what do we get? Alright, I managed to get a Freema spare body. Alright, so that's pretty cool, but I already am past the level 160 gate, so I'm not too worried about it. But you want to use all of these methods that you learned today to hopefully get past 160 as soon as you can. If you are right now somewhere in level 80 or level 120 or level 140, you still want to prepare, because once you reach there, you're going to be stuck there for a long time. And a lot of players, like I mentioned, they are stuck there, and that's going to be your focus as a new player. By the way, once you reach level 141, so if you upgrade Nikke to level 141 for the first time, you will be able to get this particular item in your inventory, which I still have and I still have not used, which is a spare body selector. So this thing is pretty cool, it's pretty valuable. You can see right here, spare body selection box. So you can choose one of the spare body for whichever character that you have. It's a pretty cool one. However, it doesn't include certain units, and it doesn't include Pilgrim units as well. So not every character is here. For example, Blanc and Nor is not here, as you can see, right? So I do recommend to use this last. This should be the last one for you to use once you have 4 characters max limit break and you are working on the 5th one, the last one. That's where you want to use this particular one. Alright, don't use this first, use this last, so that just get that as a bypass for you to go through the 160 gate. Alright, so with that being said, that is going to be it for this beginner's guide, starter's guide. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you guys are new to Nikke, welcome, and I hope you guys enjoy the game. Considering that I'm a day 1 player, I've been having a ton of fun. I'm surprised I'm still not bored with the game yet. There's plenty of cool things coming out with the collab now, anniversary soon. Definitely looking forward to all the exciting news, all the exciting things coming to this game as well. So with that being said, hopefully you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the notifications if you guys want to see more contents related to Nikke. I'll have all the relevant videos that I talk about, that I reference in this video in a much more detailed way. You guys should look at that video as well. I'll link it in the description below. Have a nice day. Goodbye.